Welcome, you fruity females and masculine mateys. 'Tis I, DRBC 007, ready to thrust upon you the wonder that is The Division. Yes, you heard me right. No funky gunky in those ears of yours. This game is great, and I'm going to tell you why. No, I didn't say goodbye, darling. No, I said why. I'm not going any... I said why! I first played The Division way back on 8th of March 2016 when it first released to the public. Ubisoft had promised a wondrous world of dystopian mayhem where the real enemy were the inhabitants of the virus-ravaged New York City. It ticked so many buttons for me, and the hype train was real. Choo-choo, baby.
I pulled up to the house about 7 or 8 and I yelled to the cabbie, "Go home, smell you later." Looked at my kingdom, I was finally there to sit on my throne as the Prince of Bel-Air.
It had a semi-believable end of day scenario thanks to the one and only Tom Clancy and his wonderful mind. The setting was bleak and beautiful. The voice acting and missions were great fun and fantastically acted. I actually really liked picking up echoes. For those of you who don't know, they were basically little snapshots into the outbreak when society began to crumble and fall apart. I loved listening in on the phone recordings and watching CCTV footage of the Rikers or cleaners doing their dastardly deeds. It was great. Not to mention the RPG elements, the weapons and customization, and a 4-man team of friends where you could take on enemies, of hordes of enemies, many enemies. There were so many enemies, all those purples and yellows. Then you had the Dark Zone, an area where other humans could royally screw your buttocks and steal your hard-earned loot. I honestly don't think I have ever experienced a more tense moment in gaming than trying to extract your super cool new gun and armor just as 3 rogue agents appear and stand there, just watching you, just staring at you. They're not doing anything, they just sometimes even just start doing emotes, or maybe they fire a health pack at you, and then they try and kill you. But maybe they don't, maybe they just stand there and they stare. Why are they doing nothing? There wasn't really anything like it, and there still isn't. Having said all of this, the game wasn't without its issues, and scored a rather measly 6 out of 10 on Steam, and other sites and reviews were less than happy with the game. Problems with PC hackers in the Dark Zone, a laborious and boring grind, samey missions, big health bar bosses that took more bullets to bulldoze than the original Japanese Godzilla. A very boring but beautiful city. It may have died a death in the virus outbreak, but it felt completely lifeless, and not in a good way. The game got dull far too soon. So why did I start playing again? Why did I return to this bullet sponge bonanza with less life than a Jeremy Kyle guest? Well, if I'm honest, I was sick. I was very sick, and I couldn't pick up a controller to play anything competitive, so I trawled through my PS4 library and thought, I'd give it a go. Hell, I paid for the season pass, so I wanted to see what had changed, and I was very glad that I reinstalled this little gem. The really interesting part here is that in a time where developers decide to double-cross and bitch-slap their customers with seedy and backhanded business models, hidden microtransactions and patronising jargon, Ubisoft actually spent time honing one of its games. Love or loathe them as a company, they actually spent time and money improving this game. Not just ploughing on with hated and bemoaned schemes and DLCs or updates that address the dark side of a donkey's ding-dong. Ubisoft diligently and painstakingly tried to improve upon the experience. They tweaked the gameplay mechanics, they added a bit more life to the dying metropolis, they included interesting DLCs and updates. The incursions are incredibly hard, but very fun. The Underground lets you customize randomly generated encounters and missions, much like the dungeons of Diablo, and the survival DLC is just fantastic as you battle the elements, try to forge clothes, find fires to stop from freezing to death, find better gear, and, well, survive, all the while fighting hostile enemies, or even humans if you're so stupid and dare to launch a game with others. The updates and DLCs have continued to tweak the experience for the better, and even 2 years later, Ubisoft show no sign of slowing down. With so much more planned, even with The Division 2 coming out, is this a sign of things to come from Ubisoft? Will they show the way when it comes to a real gaming experience where the consumer is put first? Who knows? But I am suitably impressed. Ubisoft have already announced that The Division 2 has been in production for quite some time, and we'll find out more at E3, and I can't wait. But does that mean I'll pack in The Division again now? Nope. Nope. There is so much more to do, so many more ways to play, and if you haven't played it, there is even a free trial! A free blinking trial! So no excuse to see what all the fuss is about. Go out there and get it now! Honestly, I am really, truly and utterly impressed by The Division 2 years on. It had so much promise, and although it didn't quite hit the mark, it tried hard, and hasn't stopped trying. I for one am a very happy man. I love so much about this game, and whether I'm going to grind for hours on one super hard mission, or jump in and out for a few rounds of the Dark Zone, there are plenty of reasons to come back in and take to the streets of New York. As I have never really reviewed a game before, I shall make my own rating system, and I think that The Division gets 2 Ds, a lovely bottom, a pair of Brazilians, and 6 cheeky monkey emojis. All of this equals a whopping 6 out of 7, and therefore gets the DRBC stamp of approval. If you haven't played it, or stopped playing, drop back into The Division. It'll make you happy on the inside, like a classy hooker, not one of those cheap, nasty ones. Blech, blech. Thanks for watching, you leggy Latinas and girthy gringos. Remember to hit that like button if you indeed like this video, or the thumbs down if you didn't. And subscribe if you haven't already, with notifications turned on. I'm DRBC 007, signing off. Now where's that tea? Where the hell, where's the tea? This is cold! Damn it, woman, tea!